Hey, you want it? I got it. Let's talk about it. All right, coming to you raw and uncut. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Don't forget to hit that bell for the next content. All right, Raw on Netflix. Well, Raw itself, man, it's starting to begin to be like if I hit my rewind button. It's like I'm seeing the same people week after week after week, not just on Raw, but on SmackDown also. And it's crazy. The creative writing and everything is just crazy. But let me let you know this one first. The video is coming out a little late. Computer went down, so it is what it is. But then let's get into it. Raw. All right, Seth Rollins comes out with Paul Heyman and, his visionary, his vision group with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. In this crazy behind promo, you have Paul Heyman, saying that in this city where they were last night in Philadelphia, he's not in God mode. But he said in this city, he is God. So here we go again with somebody else calling themselves God. Rusev was calling himself God. There's nobody but a God. There's only one God, and it's not neither one of them and stuff. But then again, he said they can give him, a statue, and he's way too humble to accept it. You know, giving him just saying like for all the things that he's done in front of the camera, behind the camera, you know, and then now he's calling himself the GOAT and all this stuff. I mean, it makes absolutely zero sense. Why is he out there saying all this stuff? Back in the day, Paul Heyman was a pretty good. He was a pretty good mentor, I guess you would want to say. You know, um, but when he was with ECW, he was okay. He was loud and obnoxious. But anyway, now that he's starting to become like he calls himself the Oracle, and when he was with Roman Reigns, he was good when he was with Roman Reigns. But this right here with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, this is just really not good for him and stuff. And he's saying still the same thing that he's been saying since Seth Rollins put this group with Paul Heyman together, after he screwed Roman Reigns and CM Punk, saying that the future of WrestleMania, is Braun Breaker, and then Braun, saying that Braun Breaker um, taught Roman Reigns a lesson and showed him how to respect the spear and, all this stuff. And then now he's calling Bronson Reed. He's the, big guy, of the Shula Fala and all this other craziness and stuff like that. I mean, it's a little bit funny, it's gag worthy and stuff like that, but it's just nothing that's really great. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's just nonsense, I don't understand. And then, like the audience was like chanting OTC, OTC, and then Paul Heyman saying that they're saying Paulie, Paulie. And these people, the bots, out here now they changed it from OTC to saying Paulie, Paulie. I mean, it's just crazy, just stupid nonsense and and everything, And then he's like saying, that the visionary, the revolutionary, the evolutionary, who put the group together, introducing Seth Rollins and giving Seth Rollins all the credit and everything and stuff like that, saying that Seth Rollins beat Roman Reigns, in the last WrestleMania twice, which is not true. He might have beaten the last WrestleMania and the one before that, but it was in two different WrestleManias and stuff, And then Jimmy Uso comes out, you know, and he said he was tired of hearing them talking, all of them and stuff like that. And ultimately, it ended up being that Jey Uso was going to challenge Braun Breaker, in a match. But then it ended up being a match that we haven't seen in a while, Extreme Rules. So that means anything goes anywhere. The win is by pinfall or submission and stuff. But I mean, and that was set for the main event. But let's get into to the grasp of it all. We got Io Sky and Oscar. Io Sky's got a match coming up against Raquel Rodriguez. And, she's telling Oscar and them to just stay back. She wants to do this and everything on her own. So, they have the match. The match was, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it was the same people. You know, I mean, Io Sky going after Raquel Rodriguez, and then Roxanne Perez, and then as a tag team, you know, it's just crazy. But during the match, Rox after Io Sky wins the match, she pins Raquel Rodriguez, and then after that, Roxanne comes in and she starts beating up on Io Sky, and then from that point, Rhea Ripley comes out and she takes out um, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez and stuff. So, and that ends up, doing that thing. It's just the same old. And then ultimately, it ended up Rhea Ripley is going to be going up against Roxanne Perez, which is a match that we saw a few weeks ago and stuff. So it's just repetitive. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just I hit the rewind button, and here we go with the same matches that we just saw a few weeks ago. So, but anyway, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, hit that bell for next notification, and just let me know how you're feeling. Let me just know how you're feeling. Just if you agree with me, disagree with me, or however the case may be. I mean, because this is just getting crazy. The creative team seem like they don't know what to write about. It's just like it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. We're getting the same matches every week with the same people. They interact and change them in and out, change them in and out. And then after the match was over with Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez, Oscar's coming out saying that, you know, you told us that we can't help, but Rhea Ripley came out there and, helped her. And then just things just went south after that. It just went south. Sky just walked off hollering and screaming and everything. I mean, it's just crazy. And then the next match we have Xavier Woods going after Penta again. Penta destroyed the New Day last week in a match that he had against Grayson Waller and stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just the same thing. He's just going down the line. So he beat Grayson Waller last week. Now he beat Xavier Woods this week. And then next week he's probably going to beat Kofi Kingston. It just keeps getting crazy and crazy, and I don't understand it. And it just makes me laugh because it's just so goofy. What is Triple H doing? I have no idea. But anyway, you get with the next match. We have Judgment Day, JD McDonough, and Finn Balor against Dragon Lee and Iguana. This match was crazy too. I don't understand why the match was like it is because, you know, I don't know, man. They just throwing stuff together. And then ultimately, I mean, it's kind of fitting where, because, Dirty Dom has some things going on with Vikingo. I can't pronounce that first name. So Vikingo, if I'm saying it right, or anything like that. But anyway, Dom, Judgment Day does win the match. Dom, you know, um, the crowd actually, I think the crowd in the match, they started shouting for Dirty Dom. And I think Dominic Mysterio somehow, some way, soon is probably going to be leaving the Judgment Day and going on. He's probably going to turn as a face. I don't know how this is working and stuff, or how they're going to do this. But there's something going on because, you can see with him and Finn Balor, things are just not balanced like it used to be and stuff, especially with Dom talking to um, the fake Grande Americano, who is Ludwig Kaiser. But anyway, um, Dirty Dom and Valkingo, they get into it, and Valkingo ends up just destroying the Judgment Day. And then it just goes off and everything just goes on and stuff. And, Dom stopped Vikingo, with the frog splash. And then we have Becky Lynch, going against Natalia, which was a pretty good match. It could have been better. I think Becky Lynch might be losing some of her get up and go and stuff. But anyway, ultimately the match was pretty decent. You have your things that are happening, and after the match was over, Becky Lynch she beats Natalia, and then I can't think of her name right now, gets involved, and then she attacks them again, and then out comes Nikki Bella, and then Nikki and Becky get into it and stuff, leaving it off at what it was the week before last when when Becky, sucker punched Nikki and stuff. So that's going to be a match probably at Clash of the Champion. I mean Clash in Paris. So which is going to be good. And then you got your backstage segment, the same old with Rusev and Sheamus, and here they go meeting together, and then here they go knocking off brawling and stuff like that. You know, um, and then you got CM Punk backstage segment with CM Punk and Jey Uso. Jey Uso's, telling CM Punk that he doesn't need his help or anything out there as far as the match is concerned and stuff, because there's a lot of things going on. You got CM Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, the OTC, Roman Reigns, and stuff, just involved in this one thing with this visionary group and stuff. And it's just crazy, you know. And so then we get Naomi. And then Naomi comes out, you know, um, I have to give her and Jimmy their, congratulations to them in the pregnancy. Praying that throughout the time that she's, pregnant, everything goes well. She stays healthy. The baby comes out healthy, and all things go good for Naomi and stuff. Because it's a shame because Naomi, her heel turn was one of the best things that happened this year as far as the WWE and Raw is concerned. Or WWE itself, including SmackDown. Because that crap that happened with John Cena was just not good at all. But anyway, Naomi, even after announcing that she's, pregnant, she still stayed in character of her heel and stuff, telling all the women to look out back there in the back, because when she gets back, whoever is champion, which will probably be Stephanie Vecchia, um, that she's coming back for her title. And I'm telling you, when she comes back after this and still be the Naomi that she was leaving now, she will be champion again, and it would be great for her. And I can't wait to see that and stuff. But then again, congratulations to her and Jimmy. I kind of like the way that she said that Jimmy, likes Netflix and chilling. She said, if you know what I mean. So that was cool too. Congratulations to them. I'm glad it's going to happen for them having a child and everything. Naomi's been talking about it, for a while, and I'm glad it's happened. So props to them. And then we have the main event, Jey Uso going against Bron Breakker. And from the start, we already know it was just, everybody knows what's going to happen. You knew the match wasn't going to be a clean match. I mean, especially being by the Extreme Rules and stuff. So anybody can come down, no disqualifications or anything like that. And so as the match happened, which the match was, kind of okay, and I kind of like Jimmy, they kind of set it up for him to be speared by Bron Breakker, but anyway, Jey ended up spearing Bron Breakker, which was cool. Not once, but twice, a few times. And then as everything starts getting out of control, here comes Bronson Reed interfering. And when Bronson Reed came out, then LA Knight came out, and then after LA Knight came out, it's just crazy. Um, Seth Rollins comes out, and after Seth Rollins, then here comes CM Punk, and then CM Punk after CM Punk comes out, then the OTC comes out, because it wouldn't have made zero sense after the way that they talked about Roman Reigns at the beginning of the show. That Roman Reigns not showing up would have been crazy, stupid, dumb. But he does show up. He takes care of things and stuff. He super punches Bronson Reed and everything. He takes out Braun Breaker. He took out Seth Rollins and stuff like that. And you can see Paul Heyman just running, with his tail tucked between his legs and just gone. And then it ultimately, Jey Uso from the top rope, um, frog splashes, Braun Breaker, and gets the 1, 2, 3 and win. So it was crazy. The match was crazy. Really doesn't make sense. The Vision group is just I don't know, and I don't see Braun Breaker being the future of wrestling and none of the business of wrestling. I mean, he's good and everything like that. He's okay, but he needs to be one of those guys that are alone by himself, doing his own thing. With and I can see Paul E. if you want to just get rid of Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed and then take on Braun Breaker, which could be a good thing, But I don't know, the way things are going now, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But please don't forget to subscribe. I mean, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment, let me know how you're feeling. Hit that bell for the next notification. Sorry that the video is coming out late, but anyway, it is out. Thank you. God bless. Thank you for watching. Deuces, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.